On the surface, this looks like just another earnings beat. A company does well, posts good numbers, and we all move on. But when you really dig into Nordson's first quarter of 2026, you find a way more interesting story hiding just behind those headlines. Okay, let's just dive right into this. Nordson just delivered a record quarter, but the numbers themselves, they don't really tell the whole story. What's actually going on here is this fascinating mix of booming high-tech demand, some tricky global pressures, and a company that is just absolutely firing on all cylinders in one very specific and very important area.
All right, first, the big picture. Nordson just sailed past what the analysts were expecting. They brought in over $669 million in revenue when Wall Street was looking for something around $652 million. And they beat on the bottom line, too. With adjusted earnings of $2.37 per share, it's just a clear signal of some really strong momentum right out of the gate for 2026.
And that top-line beat, it translates into some seriously impressive year-over-year growth. Total sales jumped 9%, which is solid for sure, but that 7% organic growth figure, that's the key. It tells you their core business is really humming, even without factoring in things like currency changes. And that strength flowed all the way down to a 15% jump in earnings per share and a record $203 million in EBITDA.
So where did this record performance actually come from? Well, you can't really understand Nordson without understanding its three distinct business segments. You've got Industrial Precision Solutions, Medical and Fluid Solutions, and Advanced Technology Solutions. And this quarter, each one told a very, very different story.
And here is where the story gets really interesting. Their industrial and medical segments, they posted a respectable 3% organic growth. Solid, steady performance. But then, just look at the Advanced Technology Solutions segment. A staggering 21% jump. This one division was basically the rocket fuel for the entire company's record quarter.
This table really adds even more color to the story. So, while Advanced Technology had that explosive growth, the Industrial Precision segment is still the biggest by sales. And then you have the Medical and Fluid Solutions segment. Check this out. It's the profitability champion with an incredible 36% EBITDA margin. So each piece of the company is playing a very different but very important role. But, strong sales don't always translate directly into higher profit margins. And in this quarter, we see a much more nuanced story. Despite those record sales, Nordson actually faced some real headwinds that put a bit of a squeeze on its overall profitability.
So, to really understand that squeeze, we need to look at the EBITDA margin. It's a key indicator of a company's operational profitability. Basically, it tells you how efficiently the core business is turning revenue into profit before you factor in things like interest and taxes.
This quote from the CFO, Daniel Hopgood, it really tells you everything you need to know. Nordson's growth was on fire, but it was hottest in Asia and for these large system sales. And both of those things naturally carry lower profit margins. It's a classic case of being a victim of your own success, where the kind of growth they saw actually weighed down the overall margin percentage.
And it wasn't just the geographic and product mix. The medical segment had a bit of a slower start to the year. Part of that was a 4% drag from a recent business divestiture, and they even took a 1% hit from winter storms back in January that temporarily shut down production. It's just a reminder that even for a huge global company, local stuff can still have an impact.
Okay, so we've talked about the challenges. Now let's get back to the star of the show, that absolutely incredible performance in the Advanced Technology segment, which, as it turns out, is all about its deep connection to the booming semiconductor industry.
And right here, this is the key to the entire quarter. About half of that super fast-growing Advanced Technology segment's revenue comes directly from semiconductor applications. That matters so much because it means Nordson is plugged directly into one of the biggest technology trends on the planet, that massive global investment in AI and advanced computing.
And listen to this. The CEO, Sunderman Nagarajan, he basically explains the company's secret weapon. They aren't just selling into the semiconductor industry, their technology is absolutely critical for one of the most complex and important steps, advanced packaging. As chips get more powerful and more complicated, this step becomes more and more vital.
So, what does that actually mean? What are they really doing? Well, as manufacturers stack these tiny, powerful chips closer and closer together, they need Nordson's technology. Their systems perform this hyper-precise dispensing of bonding materials, they do surface treatments to make sure everything sticks perfectly, and then they use advanced X-ray systems to test and inspect everything to guarantee quality. They're an essential link in the chain for making the world's most advanced chips. So, a powerful first quarter, driven by the AI boom, but balanced by some of that margin pressure. What does this all mean for the rest of the year? Let's take a look at the company's updated forecast.
Yeah, no surprise here. That fantastic start to the year has management feeling a lot more optimistic. They've officially raised their financial guidance for the full fiscal year of 2026, which signals a lot of confidence that this momentum is going to continue.
So they now expect full-year sales to land somewhere between $2.86 billion and $2.98 billion. And the company even noted that hitting the top end of that range assumes that this incredible momentum they're seeing from electronics and semiconductors keeps right on going through the second half of the year.
And that confidence, it flows directly to the bottom line. The new forecast for adjusted earnings per share is between $11 and $11.60. At the midpoint, that's a very healthy 10% increase over last year, which suggests they expect to successfully manage those margin pressures as the year moves on.
So the takeaway here is pretty clear. While they're navigating some expected challenges in a really complex global market, Nordson's precision technology has put it at the absolute heart of a massive, multi-year technology cycle. And that leaves us with one final thought to consider. With this AI-fueled semiconductor boom showing absolutely no signs of slowing down, is Nordson just getting started?